Hello and welcome to my Skyvision FX channel, where we do daily analysis of the forex markets. Today is a Saturday and we want to do a special training today, just showing you my process of how I trade on the 15 minutes time frame. Please do remember to follow me on Twitter at Skyvision FX and do subscribe. Okay, let's go to the charts. So this is the 15 minutes time frame of the pound USD. It's a Saturday, or rather it's a Sunday. Happy Father's Day. June the 19th. Today is June the 19th, 2022. Okay, so let's go into the charts. So we remember that we say we trade, we follow the trend, and we trade higher lows, lower lows, that way. So if we have a starting point and a high there, we're looking to enter somewhere around here to go long, okay, and we want to enter somewhere around here to go long. And we say the kind of candle pattern we'll see here are exhaustion patterns. We'll see kangaroo tails, we'll see bullish engulfing candles, we'll see dojis or spinning tops, as some people will call them. So those are the kind of candles you'll see at these levels, and even on these levels too, you see those same type of patterns. And it will not be a full-blown reversal, but it will just be a small reversal to continue to push up again in the original trend direction. So like we always say, that we have three main questions to ask ourselves every time we come to the charts. The first thing we ask is, what did price do before now, or what did price do overnight? Where is price now, and what must I see price do before I can execute a trade? Okay, so we'll use those three questions and remember our levels: the 00 level, the 20 level, the 50 level, and the 80 level. Okay, so let me remove this moving average. It's not really doing anything there. Okay, so what do we see? This is pound USD 15 minutes chart. So by the time I come to the charts, it's usually between this is my own 7 o'clock where I am. 7 o'clock, between 7 and 7:30, I get to my charts. So somewhere between here, that's when I get to the charts. Okay, so before now, so let's say at 7, what did price do? So I can say confidently, looking at this, that I can say is a range. Okay, so this is a range. So what would I be expecting from this setup? My expectation is that price will probably break above, give some rejection candles, and then break back inside. That is what I'll be looking for, because it's a range. Once is a range, that is what I'm expecting. Okay, but what did price do? We see that as at this candle, when it was time for this candle, there was a big massive candle, and let's see how big that candle was. Okay, from the lows there to that high is about 33 pips thereabouts. Okay, so one of the rules I also follow is that when I see a candle that is over 25 pips, a huge momentum candle like this, then I begin to think that perhaps there is a change in direction. Okay, perhaps price is trying to change. And then the other thing we can also say is that there was a massive break, a strong break of this previous high here, a strong break, and it closed above, and it closed really close to the high. Okay, so with those tools that we have, so what do we expect? So given that now we've seen this big engulfing candle, this big bullish candle, so what do we expect? We expect that we'll be looking for it will be changing our direction from range bound to possibly price wanting to move up. Okay, so what do? We look for a yellow line. We look for a pullback area. So this will be our first pullback, and if we get stopped out on this particular one here, then the next level is to look at those levels. This is the 20 level. Okay, so the next entry point will be this 20 level. So let's look at the pips. How many pips would it have been if I entered here? I may actually have just still been in this trade because I'll be doing about 10 pips or thereabouts. Okay, so even if I didn't enter here and I entered on at the 20 level and I give it 10 pips, for instance, on this 15 minutes chart, my next target will be this level, the 50 level, and possibly the 80 level up here. Okay, so let's mark that out. That we mark this level as a 50, or let's mark it the other way. We'll mark this level and put this one as the potential area of re-entry, supposing we get knocked out on this entry here. So this is a potential level for entry again. Okay, so we get 30 pips or thereabouts, and then we come here. Now look at these candles. This is a hanging man, what I call a hanging man. This is a bearish engulfing candle. So we're beginning to see price slowing down, showing us some rejection. Okay, now supposing you say you want to wait for the break of these lows here. You see this candle here breaks below and closes below. Then you begin to think to yourself, okay, perhaps this is going to be a reversal. And remember, we say that price will move this way. So perhaps we're at this level here now. Okay, so let's say this has gone, it's come upward. So it's at the second level here. So it's going to retrace. So it's either going to be a retracement or a full-blown reversal. Okay, so what we now have, this got broken. So we could say that we'll enter somewhere on a pullback. So if we can enter anywhere around here, put our stop loss either here or at the highs there, and we're looking for breaks to these lows here. So that is one area if you're good. But this is what I call a very high risk reversal trade, counter trend trade. Okay, but if we are not focusing on that, let's just focus on the trend, how we entered here. So we say that price did go up, so we're expecting a pullback. Either we enter at this level just like we did here, enter here, but if we get stopped out on our 10 pip stop, okay, the next area to enter is on the level. So we always enter either at a yellow line, and our yellow line is just the last pullback. We enter the last pullback of the previous candle. So this price here pull back to this level. So by the time we want to enter around this area. All right, and then expect a follow through. But if we get stopped out on that particular yellow line entry, the next level that we want to enter is around the level. Okay, either the 00, the 50, the 20, or the 80. Okay, so that is what is happening here. So we'll mark it out to say that perhaps we might have gotten stopped out here. All right, this is 13 pips. It's way over the 10 pips that we want, so we will have been stopped out there. This is our next entry, and with this entry here, with 10 pips stop, look at it, went as high as about 20 pips. So that is good enough. That's like 2 to 1. All right, now we then follow the trade on. So let's say we close it at that 20 pips there. The next entry point, since we're looking at this, we're looking at both directions. We're seeing this going up, coming down. It's come up. So if we say we are seeing a close below this level here, then we can say that this is a lower high, this is a high, lower high, this is lower low. We're expecting it to give us another lower high and then go further down. Okay, so once it gets to this level here, we can enter a trade for a sell. Okay, another high risk counter trend move. Okay, so we can enter a sell here. I'll just put that here as a possibility, either at this level here or at this level here. Okay, given that we've seen this, actually we have three levels, so it can be here. If we miss this and we saw this come back, we can enter at these levels here to get to these lows, and we see that on the following day it did get to the lows here. All right. Okay, so let's go to the next day. Let me put my the day that it occurred. So this is a Tuesday. The first one was a Monday. This is a Tuesday. Now we ask those same questions. What did price do overnight? So we can see clearly that price was in a nice trend downwards. This is a nice trend downwards. Okay, what do we expect? We expect that price will pull back either to a yellow line level. So a nice pullback level will be here at this level. But if we get stopped out, remember we say if we get stopped out at that yellow line level, the next level will be at a level. So the next zone to enter will be at a level, and this is at the 80 level. Okay, so we enter here. So supposing we entered somewhere just beyond here with a 10 pips, between 10 and 15 pips really, but preferably 10 pips. Okay, so if I entered with a 10 pips here, price didn't move all the way back down. Okay, so I may have been stopped out there as well. So let me just put that there, that this first one we entered at the yellow line here will have been stopped out if we had our 10 pips, okay, or even 15 pips will have been stopped out. Okay, then the next level to enter will have been down here. I'm putting a so this is about 15 pips, 16 pips. Okay, so we could have entered and maybe just closed out to negate this loss that we had there. So we could have had a 1 for 1 or 1 for 1.5. all right, could have had that, or we could have had this trade, and once we saw this coming back, we could have put it in at break even, and then it could have been a break even trade. All right, so now we're watching this and seeing that as soon as this big candle then happens, let's see, what's this is, wow, this is 50 something pips. So we can begin to think that we have two things to think about here. We can say that price is changing direction, and once it's changing direction, what do? We enter on a pullback. So the first pullback was here. So if we entered here, we will have been stopped out because it's more than 10 pips. So we would have been stopped out on the first one. So we would have been stopped out on this first entry here with 10 pips. So we'll have been stopped out around there, let's say around there, 10 pips there. So the second entry will have been down here. So we'll have entered here and gotten here, okay, and gotten some maybe 10, 15, 20 pips. So if we entered on this next candle, so we'll have gotten like 23 pips, okay. Now, so we're watching that. We're watching to see what is happening. So we're watching to see what is happening at this level here. So once at the time we get the break here, break below this level, break and close below this. So on this candle, we're thinking that, okay, we're going to be going low. Okay, so we put in our sell. So once we put in our sell on this pushback, this first pullback here, will have been stopped out eventually because we have this big candle. Okay, now, so we have a number of trades. So look at now, as soon as we get a break above this, so a break above this range here, this is a possible area for us to enter longs again. Okay, on this pullback, we enter long there. So that is one area. Then at the break of this candle, there is even another small one here. So we could have held, if we held this with a 10 pip stop, if we held this to this level, this is about 60. If we held to this level, that's about 70 pips, over 70 pips. Okay, and we'll have had 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 losses. Okay, 4 losses, that's 40 pips. So that's 70 pips there. So that gives us overall of minus 40, that's 30. Okay, plus this 20, this 20 something that we have here. So that's 90. So we have 90 positives and minus, so we'll have been up 50 pips, okay, on that day. All right, so let's go to the next day. So we are repeating the same thing. What did price do overnight? We see physically here from the table that we can see price is going down. So as soon as we get to this level here, let's as soon as we come to the table at this level here, between this, we can see that this is a trend. It's moving downwards. And what do we expect? We expect that price perhaps will get to this level, either a yellow line here, and if we get stopped out, the next area to enter is at the level. We'll look for it to go down, and that is what played out. Okay, so let's put that there, that we entered, let's say on this candle here, and we'll have gotten this level. This will have entered. This is another possible area for re-entry. As soon as we get this break, we'll enter on the pullback here. All right, so once you get to this level, that is some nice pips. So if we're able to hold on to this level, that is some 60 pips, and if we get to the very tail there, that's like 65 pips. Okay, so let's say 60 pips. All right, so that's 60 pips for the day, and that may be enough and that may not be enough, but let's just see. Okay, what are the other levels? So because we're in a downtrend, what do we expect? We're expecting that the next area to enter again is on a pullback at a yellow line level. So we could take this one here, which you obviously will have been stopped out. That's for a sell. Okay, the next level to have entered again will be either here, at the level, at any of the levels. So if we have a yellow line entry, preferably is to help minimize the losses. We don't want to be entering at every yellow line. Okay, so you can decide to take it here and then not take the trades here. But I think I will be highly tempted once I see this bearish engulfing candle. I'll be highly tempted to take another one here at this level here. Okay, so let's see what happened after that. We'll have been stopped out as well, except if we entered and got this. If we entered at this level, this is like 12 pips. Yeah, it's about 12 pips, so just about 1 for 1. Okay, so after this 60 pips and we get a loss here, we'll have come here and gotten either break even after we saw this bearish engulfing candle, indicating that price is probably going to begin to move back down again. So we'll have entered here and probably just gotten either break even or 1 for 1. Okay, now price, so the original thing we should have done, or that we should have done if we got stopped out here, is to wait for this level. This is the 50 level now. So once we get to this 50 level, let's see how many pips that is. Let's say from here we're looking for 10 pips. Okay, so we'll have survived it. So if we entered with our 10 pip stop, 10 pips is somewhere here. With our 10 pip stop, we'll have gotten like 29, maybe 30 pips. Yeah, we'll have gotten about 29, 30 pips on this trade here. So this is another possibility here. So we can see how when you take a yellow line entry, if we ignore this one and wait till the next level, you see price does follow its own patterns. Okay, now we see a high here. We see price come back here, went down again. Perhaps, so a thinking could be that, okay, perhaps price has since it's rejecting at these levels, another place, once it comes back there again, it could reject it. All right, so this is another place that one could enter. Okay, so and that will have been that way. So we wouldn't have been thinking of going long really, except if you want to be taking very high risk trades, to say that this is indeed an engulfing candle, though it has a lot of it's more of a kangaroo tail really, a kangaroo and engulfing candle together. So could have taken a high risk trade there for a counter trend move, and you see it didn't move that well. It moved some pips. So if we entered on the retracement of this candle, and was able to hold on to this level. This is 16 pips, and when you get here, that's like 32 pips. All right, so it's always good to have a structure. Follow a structure. You can win either way. You can win on the buys, you can win on the sells. So just stick to one process first as you're starting. Then when you get to the more advanced level, you can be playing all these levels. Okay, so let's look at Thursday. So what did price do? Is this trending or is it ranging? So let's say from this here, it went up, came down, so it broke this level. So this is a lower low, came back down, gave us a double top. All right, give us a lower low, broke this level, then came back up here. So we can say this is a trend actually. Okay, we can say this is a trend from here to somewhere here. Then on this candle it went back up. So we'll be looking for a yellow line, just like we do every day. So we'll be looking for a yellow line. So our yellow line could be here. This is right at the 20 level. These are right at the 20 level. So if we were stopped out, we could have entered somewhere either on this candle or on this candle. Okay, no sentiments, just executing. Saying, because when we come on the to the charts around this, between these three levels, these three bars here, once we come to the charts, we'll be looking to enter somewhere here. So if we entered there, let's see what price. If we entered, say, somewhere here. Oh, okay. We'll have, because we'll be using about 10 pips or so. Between 10, I use about between 10 mostly. So, but I give a range between 10 and 15. Okay. So I'm still in good play here, even with a 10 pip stop. You see. So this will have given me like 28 pips. Yeah. So I'll have gotten 28 pips there. So let's put sell. So we are taking the trade from what we are seeing. What must I see price do? Either enter, once is in a trend, we'll enter at a yellow line entry or at a level. Or if we don't want to take that, we'll wait for price to begin to show us consolidation, like a spinning top, a bullish engulfing candle, in this case now, bullish engulfing candle, or a kangaroo tail. So we'll be looking for that for a reversal trade. All right. So so here now we're saying that is a trend. So when will this trend be broken? This trend will be broken when we have a break and close above this level. That's when the trend will be broken. But let's see what we have here now. Okay, so price came back all the way again. So we have another opportunity to enter here. So this is another opportunity to enter. We could have entered for a counter trend, but I don't want to bore us with that just yet because that's more advanced. Now, by the time we get to the, so this is the London session. This area over here will be the New York session. So by the time we got here, once we got this break above these levels here, it has now changed from a trend to range, because this is our high here and this is our low here. So it's now range. And what do we say for a range situation? Once it's ranging, we're looking for price to either go to the highs, give us kangaroo tails, give us wicks, bullish and bearish engulfing candles, or spinning tops or dojis to go further, to come back into that range. All right. So that is what it has done here. So we see price has come to this level. It gave us this nice hanging man here. You can see a lot of tails here. So you could have entered the first one here on this next candle here, given these two candle combinations. So you'll have gotten some trades there. By the time you wait again and you see this candle here, this rejection candle, once it broke above this level, so we are ready. We are getting ready to enter. So we see this candle, we can then enter again on the next candle here. So that's another opportunity right there. So, and we see that came all the way down. Once it comes, as long as it doesn't close above this level, you should be willing to risk that, willing to take that risk. Okay. And then it goes all the way down. See, so we get some nice trades there. Okay, so let's see what happened on the Friday. So this is just 1 week now. Wow. And this candle, this this is really a long I'll stop it shortly, but let's see how it goes. Okay, so okay, so what did price do overnight? Essentially, I'll say is a range, because it started this way, went all the way up. So it started a trend, but by the time I get to my charts, maybe I'm somewhere here or somewhere here. It's come back into a range. So what will I be expecting? I'll be expecting that price will break, give me some signal that it wants to go long. So I may actually enter long on this candle here. But what did price do? Wow, it was a really nice day there. So so let's see how we could have traded this in reality. So we'll be looking for longs. All right. So if we entered long on this candle here, so on the next candle we'll have been stopped out. So once we are stopped out there, we can have a look again to see, to reassess. Once we got stopped out here, we can reassess and say, is either we say that, okay, let's wait for the next level to see if we enter long again and we'll be stopped out, or we can say let's see, if we entered here and we got stopped out and we're still, our mindset is still in the range situation, we can say to ourselves that, okay, since we are still in that range, we are waiting for the next level. This next level has given us a valid kangaroo tail here, but it got stopped out. All right, so what we can do next, so if we're trading only the London session, we'll have had these 2 losses, and that's it. Okay, or maybe even 3, and that's it. But we can say to ourselves, once we get to this level now, we can look back and say, is price still in a range, or has it changed to a trend? All right, so we can look at this and say, see, price has actually changed to a trend. So we can be looking for a yellow line entry, and if we got stopped out here, the next level to enter will be here for a sell now in this trend. Okay, so we always need to continually assess what states the charts are in. Is it in a trend? Is it in a range? So we need to continually do that. So if we say to ourselves that it's in a trend now, once we get stopped out at this second level, once we can establish that we are now in a trend, so we'll change our direction to sells instead of buying. So if we enter this yellow line right here, we could have gotten stopped out here, but the next level to enter, as we said, is up here. Okay, so, and I believe this might probably be news. So if we stayed out of the market during that news, the next thing we could do is to look for an entry. So if we stayed out during this news and we didn't enter here, we could have entered on this candle here, somewhere on this candle. All right, and even if we didn't enter on this next candle, we could have entered on the next candle, or this next candle, or this next candle. So we have a lot of entries there. If we didn't get these ones, if we didn't comply with that, because it doesn't really comply with our yellow line entries, it doesn't come all the way to the top. The next area is the break of this and here, so we'll have entered here, and once we enter here, let me see this. Okay, once we enter there, where is it? So we enter on this yellow line entry here. Once we enter there, we'll have gotten at least 20-30 pips. Oh, okay, we went further than that. Okay, so, oh great, so this is like 40 something pips, so we'll have gotten 40 something pips there. All right, so we have a lot of opportunities every day. So this is just a 1 week back testing of what could have happened. Okay, let me show us what I actually did. So on the first day I wasn't around on the New York trading session, but I was around here. So I was following my setup there. I was trying to enter a long here for whatever reason. Maybe this kangaroo tail here, but the real trade will have been here, which will have, but I closed it out before the next day. Okay, but okay, let's see. So I didn't enter here. I entered at this level, came back down, but I was stopped out. All right, then I entered at this level here, looking for it to go long, but got stopped out. I entered again. I got this 20 pips, but I was still looking for it to go all the way up to this zone here. So I got stopped out at break even. Then at the level when I got this break here, I entered here, got stopped out promptly, and I didn't trade again. But by the time I got here, I was thinking of a double top, and I got stopped out. Okay, so I entered there, but I just closed it. I didn't want it to go through the next day. Next day I entered. I was here even before, just before I got to the trade. I looked at it here. I got stopped out. I tried to enter a long for whatever reason. I do not know why, and I got stopped out. And then I was entering the a buy here, and I got stopped out. I entered the buy here. I got stopped out. So you see that even I also have some when I try to trade the counter trend too for this move up here with my 10 pip stop, I also got stopped out. I just entered here. Okay, so let's see what happened here. So haven't seen this. I entered here as well, and I got some nice moves here. Okay, I had 2 entries. I got some nice moves overnight, and that was nice. And I got here, I did not wait for the yellow line, and I tried to enter at this level, and so I entered somewhere here with my stop loss 10 pips, and I got it. I closed there. I was trying to look at possibility of entering long for some reason. I wonder why did I enter long here. Anyway, so perhaps after this long candle, let's see how many pips was this. This was 23. Okay, so I must have broken my rules here. Well, maybe when I saw this candle here, I thought it might actually go long. So giving us something like this. Okay, so but it just shows us that we need to be disciplined. Okay, I need to continually be disciplined, even though I've been trading for a number of for a while now. We need to actually continue to stay disciplined. You see, I entered here, I got some trades there, and on the Friday I entered short there, even though I said the trade was this was a range and we're expecting to buy. I wonder why I didn't enter a buy. Okay, so you see that sometimes I break my rules, but it's always important for us to follow the rules. Follow the rules. And once we follow the rules, it will actually pay us at the end of the day. I was actually up at the end of the day, at the end of this week, on some pips. But so let's see how this new week that we're going to enter will be. So we're entering the week of the 19th. Let's see how this new week will be and how we're going to trade. So hopefully I'll do something like this again for us to follow. All right.